It was early in the morning when I awoke. The sun was just peeking through the trees, and I got out of bed and picked up Dolly. Dolly is my 8-year-old light orange cat who was born with a rare condition named anthopleemia. Anthopleemia is just a fancy name for her being born without eyes. However, this condition does not stop her from living her life to the fullest. She is the most energetic cat I have ever had and the biggest daredevil I know. She will jump from the side tables to the couch to the cat tower and then to the floor all in one smooth motion. Somehow she is quicker than her brother Bartholomew, who is just fine, and he's my 10-year-old bright orange cat who is the sweetest and calmest cat I know. He is the complete opposite of Dolly. We started out our morning with feeding and getting everybody ready to go to town. I put on my fancy overalls with the big pocket in the back, that way I can carry Dolly around without worrying that she would get lost. After we finished getting ready, I scooped up Bartholomew in my arms and we went into town. It was an unusually hot day, so I decided to bike to town. Riding the bike is Dolly's favorite thing to do. She enjoys smelling the various scents left behind by animals, people, etc. Bartholomew just likes to lay in his basket, which is attached to the front of the bike, and sleep. He's not really a morning person. We arrived to town and went to our favorite coffee shop. The cats got a little cup filled with whipped cream, and I got my regular black coffee. After receiving our refreshments, we visited the little shops that line the main street. We looked at clothes, cat treats, house decorations, and anything else we could find that looked interesting. As we finished looking around, I went outside and went back to my bike, but something felt off. I started checking my clothes to see if I had everything, but I didn't. I touched my hand to the back pocket of my overalls, and I realized it was empty. It was empty and Dolly was gone.
Dolly!
I shouted as I ran back into the different stores. I know I had her when I visited the clothes shop, so that's the first place I checked. I ran to the counter and asked the owner,
I'm so sorry to bother you, but I lost my blind cat, and I know I had her when I first came in here. Would you be able to show me the surveillance footage so I can find where she went?
Sure, follow me to the back,
said the owner. When I looked at it, the footage showed her sliding down my bag and stumbling to the front entrance.
Thank you so much,
I said to the owner.
No problem. I hope you find your cat.
He said back. I ran out the door and started shouting for her. At home, she usually comes when I call her name, but she was nowhere in sight. I ran into the alleys, the stores, any places that I could find that were near the store, but she was nowhere. I spent the rest of the day asking people about her and searching different stores for her until the sun started to set and everything was closing. The only store left open was the coffee shop, and I was too terrified to go back home because I wanted to be in town just in case somebody found her. I went into the coffee shop and sat down at the table feeling exhausted. As the waiter came up to my table, I had tears streaming down my face and I was hugging Bartholomew tightly.
Hey, are you okay?
Asked the waiter as she brought me coffee.
Not really. I lost my blind cat in the clothing store, and now...
Before I could finish the entire story, she told me to wait and ran to the back of the coffee shop. I waited there for what felt like an eternity until she came back with Dolly in her hands. I screamed and jumped out of my seat and grabbed Dolly and gave her the biggest hug.
Thank you so much,
I exclaimed. It turned out she got lost and followed the scent of coffee back to the shop. That's where the waiter found her. The waiter saw that she was blind and put her in the break room so she wasn't able to get lost anymore. I gave the waiter the biggest hug and rode back home with both my cats in tow.